With the AAA gaming space filled with so many games, it can be hard to even play all of them that you want to. Games are rushed into stores for us to buy during the fall season, with a new hit practically coming out every week. It can be really hard to keep up with all these releases, resulting in a substantial backlog for all of us to be able to go back to play some games. This results in players not being able to play every new game, and the quantity of games is extremely bigger within the indie space. Games come out every day, hoping to capture our attentions. This causes many situations for a good amount of fun games to go under the radar. I stumbled across a hidden gem for a new side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. Rigid Force Alpha is a smaller game released this year, and it's one that's definitely worth your time that provides fast and fun action. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my review for Rigid Force Alpha. Rigid Force Alpha is a side-scrolling shooter that gives you plenty of things to blow up. I have said this before, and it is important for a game to hook you in, especially early on. Now, that doesn't mean that a game can't be slow as you're exploring the many different mechanics or getting acclimated into the game's systems and features. But there are those games that kind of grab you right from the start screen, and it can be from a combination of a good presentation, music, or memorable gameplay moments. And here we have all three.
Rigid Force Alpha ready for deployment.
The intro cutscene combined with the music does an effective job of teasing the gameplay along with getting the player amped for the action, and the game wastes no time getting you into the gameplay. I think that really contributed to my enjoyment is how these developers presented the game. They give you some context into the world, and they have you know what you're kind of going to be going up against before you get into the frenetic action. The game is best played with a controller, and the action is satisfying. Moving and blowing up enemies feels familiar and right. If you have played anything like this before, you're gonna know what you're getting into. You blast an onslaught of enemies while collecting power-ups to improve your arsenal. The most unique aspect of picking up these power-ups are these guns that you can pick up and then change position on the fly. You can collect guns from different enemies, and these will float around your ship. You can change their positioning by creating a wide spread for your attacks or more of a narrow attack, and then you can switch the positions to even fire behind you. This mechanic is interesting and adds something different to the experience. Being able to adjust on the fly allows you to help clean up some of the enemies from behind you or shoot a ship that may be trying to get you from behind. There are a few different weapon variations that you can pick up along with being able to get the very useful homing rockets. Your ship has a few other actions that can help you out. As you defeat enemies, they will drop energy. Energy can be used to unleash a charge attack to do more damage, along with a blade that will cut through bullets, preventing you from taking hits. Since the action is rather fast and energy will be all over the place, you can use a move that is really useful in being able to suck up all the energy that is around you, so that way you aren't missing out on any of it. All of this together creates a fun, action-heavy experience where you're blowing up everything you can, while not taking any hits and collecting as much energy as you can. This continues with some of the fun boss fights that you'll encounter whether you're fighting a large foe or one that changes forms throughout the fight. I don't really have any negatives for this game, though I do wish that there was some type of local co-op. I do feel like that this would have been a good addition here, and I tend to say that for most of these games. An optional co-op mode would have been fun because I think the developers could have come up with some interesting ways in having the gun shifting positions into incorporating that into some co-op specific levels. Rigid Force Alpha's soundtrack also keeps the action engaging, and here's a few tracks from the game. Rigid Force Alpha is a short and sweet indie experience that is worth playing. While it doesn't really do anything new for the shoot 'em up genre, it does everything it does really well and creates a memorable experience. The action is fast and the mechanics are fun. I like being able to switch my guns to different positions during my combat encounters. The performance is solid and I look forward to more games from this developer. I do hope that this makes its way over to the consoles so that more people can experience it. If you want a fun experience, then I would suggest you check this one out.